All right, we have officially started our class this morning. Let me just double check. Saturday, June the 6th, 2020. What a year, huh? What a year. But we are still here by the grace of God, and that's a wonderful thing. All right, thank you for joining me. This is our third class, I think it is. Is this class number 3? I think it is. Yeah, on Saturdays, and you've been hanging in there with me. I hope you have been learning something, right? I hope you've learned something. I hope you enjoyed this class. My gift that God has given me, my anointing, is to make technology easy, just to make it easy, to make it simple. I think I read somewhere, I wrote it down in one of my journals from years ago. I think it was by John Maxwell. Or someone, and it was in his book. I know, I can't remember if this was his quote or someone else in the book quoted it, but one of his leadership books, and I'm a big fan of John Maxwell, but he said, genius is taking something complicated and making it very simple. I said, I like that. So to me, technology, I know, can be very complicated and very intimidating for people, for children, for adults, for seniors, for anyone really. And I love technology. If you read my bio, sometimes if you want to, just for your reading pleasure, you can go to, and I'll share it with you, bio.angivalentine.com. That's where you'll find my bio. And I show you this kind of stuff. There's method behind my madness. To make it a clickable link. There it is. Okay. And I don't care if you click around on it, that's fine while we're doing this, as long as you can get back to the screen. But I try to be an example, right? I try to get out there and learn stuff, right? And then I try to bring it back to the people that I feel need it the most. Now, studies show that women and minorities are way behind the ball when it comes to knowledge of technology and being employed in fields that require technology. I think after this pandemic, we all figured out we need to know a little bit more. We might know something, but we might need to know a little bit more after this pandemic, right? Because everything went technical almost overnight, right? Even with the little kindergartners in school, they had to learn online. And the parents are like, oh my God, I've never done this before. So my goal, and I feel like my assignment for this season, I'm a Christian woman, so I hope you don't get offended by me making references to scriptures and things like that, because it's just in my DNA. It's just what I do. It's what you're going to hear. It's part of my life. But I just kind of feel like God has equipped me for this time and this day to be able to bring this knowledge to a lot of people that don't have access to it in a way that they can understand it, and in a way that is applicable. You just don't come to my class and like, oh, that was good, but I'll never use what she, presented. My goal is to start on the foundation level and bring people to the table so they'll have a good working knowledge of how to build a foundation. Once you've got the foundation, you can take that foundation to your business, to your professional life, to your educational life, to your nonprofit life, right? Ministries, organizations, etc. And then you can branch off from there. But what I found in my years of being a Google certified trainer is that when I talk about all the wonderful programs that Google has, then people are like, okay, what's Google, and what do I do for business, or what do I do? How do they help my personal life? What's my Google account, right? Well, you have a Google account if you have an Android, right? We went over that in the first class. Well, people know that they have an Android phone or maybe an Apple phone, but they never use their Gmail account. And then once we went over Gmail, you saw the whole G Suite of apps that came with that, right? So there's so much and so many layers to technology that you have to, if you're coming in, please come in on mute, please. Thank you. And welcome to the call. We're just getting started. But there's so many layers to it, and technology changes. It changes so much and so quickly that you gotta stay with it and not get frustrated with it, right?
you may come on and learn Microsoft Word or Google one way, and then before we can get off the call, they've done an update and everything looks different when you go back in and log in, right? You have websites. You started off one year with whatever, then they change the standards or they change the templates, and then you're like, oh my God, my website is out of date or whatever. You know, we have to stay on top of this technology. Technology is very
needy, just like social media accounts. If you're coming in, oh, I have to delete you from the call. I'm sorry, but I have to. At this point, I'm going to challenge you to raise the bar as to how you participate in technology and these video conferences. It's part of the learning experience. But yeah, once you learn one thing, then technology changes so quickly that you want to have the mindset. I try to teach people that when you're dealing with technology, don't get frustrated with it. Well, we just did this and I just learned this and oh my God, we did a software update and I've lost. If you kind of stay with me and you learn how to think how, we call it, with the kids, they're teaching the children now in the classes with some of this technology. They're teaching them computational thinking, right? They want the kids to come out of college with, whether you're a programmer or not, it's nothing to do with coding, but how do you put things together? How do you follow the methodology of technical softwares and technical processes so that you can kind of figure out things and not have to keep taking classes all over again, right? So I try to teach with that type of mindset. So if you understand cloud apps versus software, then if you're dealing with a cloud app and there's an update, then you're like, oh, they moved the button, but okay, this is what should happen. So there should be a download button somewhere. So if you understand how it works, you just know how to look for things and where they move things, and you're not confused all over again. But that's a whole total different mindset and approach to things and thinking about technology. So don't ever get frustrated and don't ever give up on trying to learn something new about technology, because as soon as you learn it, it's going to change, right? I'm sorry, someone has a question?
You're going in and out, Angela. We can't hear you. Yeah, we can hear you, then you get low, and then you go out, then you come back in. I don't know.
For anyone else?
Yes, everyone's saying something. Everyone is saying something.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
It appears when people were coming in, I think that was happening.
Okay.
Because you went back to the regular volume on mine.
That's interesting.
Yeah, every time I muted, you went out, so I had to unmute to hear you.
Every time you muted yourself?
Yeah, you're like you're out, you're low right now.
Better? Is this better at all? Is this better at all? Can we try this for a minute? No, that's not better? Okay, I've got my headsets in. I don't know why that would be any different. Let me try this. It's still in and out? That's crazy. Give me a second. You gotta love technology. Hold on.
Okay, you're in. Okay.
Hold on.
Oh, you're good now.
Hold on.
Okay.
Okay, microphone. Okay.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, and you guys are still coming in through. Is this better at all?
Yes, yes.
Okay. All right, speakers. Testing 1, 2, 3. Better? Even?
Yes.
A little, much better? Okay, I've got my headsets. Okay, and that's one of the things that I teach. Have your headsets. You know, there's just a day when stuff is just off. I've been doing these for what, how many weeks? Couple of weeks now. We never had a problem. Okay, today's is a problem. There's something in the air, right? That's just causing interference. So always have a set of headsets, you know, nearby when you're doing teleconferencing, okay? Because sometimes it could be your system, but if everybody's saying they're having a problem hearing me, then it's something on my end. I don't know what it is. I can't even begin to tell you what it is, but just something in the air in the internet that's just causing interference. So I've got headsets, right? Okay. All right. Same thing for you. And I'm hearing people. If you just came in, mute your line, please. Thank you. All right. So I was talking about a technology mindset, you know, and how I feel that I'm anointed to take the complication of technology and bring it down on a level where everyone can understand it, because my goal and my mission is to get women and minorities up to speed with what's going on. And not only get you up to speed, but as we continue these sessions, I want you to walk away with something to say, you've been to class and you've learned something very valuable and relevant for today's time. I want you to have a certificate. I want you to get your Google certification. I want you to have something that you can take back to someone, or to display a badge, a digital badge or something. I've got some ideas and some things, but I got to lay this foundation first. But I want you to be able to demonstrate that you are a Google certified professional, or your business has been trained by, you know, Google or whatever. I want you to walk away with something. So I just don't want you to get the basics, which that's important, but I want you to walk away from these sessions with something that you could take that will advance you in whatever your field is. Okay. So I just wanted to take a moment and say that, because I'm not sure if any of you have heard my vision before and why I do this. Because I'll be sharing this out with some other people. I've got a vision to kind of get this project in front of Google so that we can start getting help in our communities with this type of basic education. We need it. We need it. We need it. Some of the things you've learned, some of the people in your circles may not have known it. And I appreciate that you all go out and share this information and bring other people to the table. We need voices. We need our voices at the table with everything that's going on. Now you can march and you can riot and you can whatever your thing is, you can pray and call your intercessory groups, whatever your thing is, that's all wonderful. But we all have to have, at the end of the day, to move these issues forward, we have to have voices at the table, to bring more people to the table and to make change. I'm all about marching and Dr. Martin Luther King and all these other things, because that's what they did. But at the end of the day, they changed policies. They changed who sat at the table at these, so my thing is the technology forum. I want more African-American kids, more minority kids getting these scholarships and doing these internships with Google and all these things. But we've got to learn the basics, right, of what's even available so we can go and help some other people. So I said all that to say the part that we can play in this whole atmosphere of things that's going on is get the knowledge first for yourself. Put the mask on yourself, right? Ruby, isn't that what you tell people with the planes? Got I'm sorry, I didn't mean to call you out. She's an airline, what do you call it? A flight attendant. I almost said airline stewardess, right? She's a wonderful lady that deals with the airline and all. But that's what they tell us, right? Get the mask on you first, and then you can help somebody else. And that's the whole approach, and that's why I'm doing this, and I'm not charging you for it, because I just want to get the knowledge out there, and let's just help somebody else with it. So if you come to my class, I charge you to bring someone else to the table or share this knowledge, and let's help get this knowledge out there so people will be empowered, to be in a better economic position, and to just have the knowledge they need to be a voice at the table. Okay, can you all commit to that? That's all I'm asking from these classes. Let me see your hand. If you say, give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you. That's all I ask of you. And I apologize for going on that little rant, but I wanted you to know where I'm coming from, with these classes. And a lot of people say, and I've been on a lot of webinars where they do something free and then they're bang, I want you to buy all this. I want you to buy all that. Well, this is what I do for income. But my first level my heart is to educate and get this knowledge out. You need more, I got more stuff on another level, but this thing is from my heart, right? And if I'm giving it to you, I'm going to challenge you to pay it forward, right? And help someone else with it. So I just had to say that. All right, today we are talking, and is my sound better, much better now? I apologize that it was out. You got to tell me beforehand so I can fix it earlier. I hope all of that got recorded. But what we're going to do today, thank you. What we're going to do today, heretofore we talked about the basics of our Google account, right? and how you get in, how you know what it is, you've identified it. Did I ask you to set up a professional Gmail account? I may not have asked you that. Yeah, at some point I want you to set up a professional Gmail account, okay? Just that you use for your professional side, because you may have an account that has a lot of junk and stuff in it, but I want you to have a clean account. And I think we talked about signatures. I think we talked about freeing up your space, using your cloud apps with photos and contacts, right? Speaking of which, there's one thing that I want to clarify that we didn't figure out on the last call, and then we're going to the next level. All right, and thank you, I didn't see my text before, but some of you were texting me about difficulties. Thank you that you got my attention and we figured that out. Now, we talked about contacts being filtered in from your Google account. So when you get a new phone, you won't have to tell people, hey, can you send me your number because I got a new phone and I don't have my contacts in there. Or if you're using your Google Contacts app and keeping your contacts there, if you have an Android phone, you just use the contacts, sign in, they'll all flow in. If you have an Apple phone, we were looking for that contacts app, right? In the store, in the app store, we couldn't find it because they changed it, right? The last time I taught this, they had an app you could download, just like with Calendar, with Gmail. They don't have that with Apple now because Apple's always kind of changing the game a little bit, but that's okay because we're on our toes. What we do is we go to settings. If you have your phone and you just want to cover this real quick, but I promise I bring back the answer to this call. You're going to go to your settings on your iPhone, and then you're going to go to passwords and accounts in settings. If you have not added your Gmail account to your iPhone, you can do it here. There's a place on my interface here, it says Gmail. And when it says Gmail, if I click that, then it has mail, contacts, calendar, and notes. I'm going to try to, you may not be able to see that again. I'll figure this out how we'll be able to share, and I could just show you right from my phone. All these should be turned on if you want it to sync to your phone. But the most important thing is that that green button for contacts is on. I just turned it off, and then I can turn it back on. If you've got this on, whatever Gmail account you're signed into, those contacts are going to automatically flow into your phone and be a part of your contacts that are accessible through your phone. It's not through the app that we thought you could download from the App Store. It's in passwords and accounts through Gmail. Then you turn that on. And then you should have access when you're making phone calls, when you're looking up that contacts button where you find the contacts, you should see all of them there. That's how we fix that. Yeah, I think you can do it on your tablet under settings as well. Yeah. And if you have Google Voice, another lesson, if you have Google Voice, you can make phone calls through Google Voice from your tablet, I believe, if they didn't change it. I always have to put that disclaimer there now because I don't know if they're going to change stuff, but you used to be able to either from your computer. When I didn't have my cell phone, I used my computer to make phone, as long as you got an internet connection. You heard of VoIP, Voice over Internet Protocol. That means you can make phone calls through your computer. If you got an internet connection, you don't need a phone, right? If you got Google Voice, they'll give you a number. You use that, dial into the Voice app, and then you can make phone calls from there. That's another class. If you'd like to learn more about that, I will bring that to the table. It's another free app. Okay, today, so we've covered the contacts, how to get those on the iPhone. So we should be good with photos, storage, free web-based storage. We should be good with and the contacts. Now, we talked about the G Suite apps. We talked about Google Docs. We talked about Google Sheets. We talked about Google Slides. That's Google's version of Google Docs is like Word, Microsoft Word. Google Sheets is like Excel. And Google Slides is like PowerPoint, right? Okay, so we just touched that last class. Now I want to show you how to get Microsoft products for free, web-based products for free, okay? So here's what happens. When Google came out of the gate, they came out being a web-based company with all these apps. Now, Microsoft has been around for ages. Anybody work with a company professionally, you know about Microsoft Word, you know about Excel, you know about PowerPoint. We used to have to go get those CDs and bring them home and plug them into our big computer tower and download that software, right? Every time a new version came out, we had to get the new CDs and install that, or then we started installing it from the internet. Now, Microsoft still does that, but then came this company called Google and said, we do everything in the cloud. You don't need to load the software and hog up your hard drive and RAM and all that on your desktop. Do everything in the cloud. So then Microsoft said, oh no, you're not going to have cloud-based apps, and we're not going to have it because we're going to stay in the game too. So Microsoft did create a cloud-based suite of apps that you can use that you don't have to pay for, just like Google. That's kind of how that came about. They don't tell people about it because they want you to pay, right? Everybody wants you to pay, right? All right, let me show you how to access Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all that whole Microsoft package on the cloud. They only give you 5 gig. How much does Google give you a free cloud storage? I want to see someone type it in the chat. How much do you get? Type it in the chat that Google gives you. Pop question for the day to see if you passed the test. 15 gig, 15 gig, you got it, you got it, you got it. Microsoft gives you 5 gig. I don't think they've upgraded to 10. Well, we're going to say, whoa, wait. Apple gives you 5 gig. Apple gives you 5 gig of free iCloud storage. Let's look and see what Microsoft, it's either 5 or 10. I think they may be 10, but let's look and see. Now, let me ask you one other thing. Make sure we're still kind of taking this and building on this foundation. Anytime you want to get to your Google apps or your Google account and you open up a new browser, first of all, what's the recommended browser we use for that? Because we got some newbies on the call. What's the recommended browser we use when we're talking about Google apps? Chrome. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody understands that. And you can use Chrome for Microsoft as well. But Microsoft version of the browser is called, used to be Explorer. Now it's Microsoft Edge, right? If you have a Windows-based computer, you have this little E that's kind of got a fancy haircut. It's got the E cut out in the back. It used to be the blue E with the yellow halo, right? That's gone. If you're still seeing that on your computer, I would encourage you to upgrade to Edge and start using Edge as soon as possible, because they're going to discontinue. They've already discontinued it, okay? So one day you're going to log on, the stuff is not going to work, because with the release of Windows 10, they released Microsoft Edge, okay? But you can still do your Microsoft Cloud apps through Chrome. I just use Chrome for everything. You can use either or, because I'm sure you're seeing on your computer, you've got Edge and Microsoft made Edge. I want you to understand that. But you can still use Chrome and get into where we're going for the Microsoft Cloud apps, okay? Everybody got that much so far? I don't want to confuse you. That's why I'm going real slow. Okay, very good. Now, where do you go to access, when you launch your Chrome browser, what do you type in to access your Google apps and to sign into Gmail and to find everything Google? Where do you go? What's the first thing you type in to make sure you're on the right legitimate page? Google.com. Thank you. Thank you. Ruby, you get an A. You are rocking these answers, girl. Been paying attention. Very good. All right. Google.com. In just a minute, I'm going to show you my screen, okay? But we go to Google.com and we can see where we're signed in and all of that. Now, if you want to do Microsoft, everybody's got their own version, right? And we are talking about Microsoft accounts. To get to your Microsoft Cloud accounts, you're going to go to office.com. Microsoft Office, right? That's what they call their product. So you're going to go to office.com. And I'm hoping you're going to be able to, I'm going to show you, and then I want you to do it too. So if let's practice just a little bit, and we'll pick up on this next week if we have to. We got 30 more minutes, but I think we can get through it. But if we need to practice on you going and opening your tabs, I'll show you, then I want you to do it, right? And I want you to get there. So when we're done, you got your account set up. Okay, but if you have to, you feel more comfortable waiting and listening to the replay and then doing it, that's okay too, however you want to do it. But this is really to get your hands in it, right? So I'm going to share my screen at this point, and we're going to get into it. Actually, I'm going to go to a blank screen. Okay, now I'm going to share. Give me 1 second here. Kind of switch some stuff around. Share screen. Share. Can you see my desktop here? The splashes of the color on the background. Do you see my Google screen here? Okay, it says google.com. Okay, very good. My default screen, we'll talk about default screens, how you can make sure if you have a certain screen you want to land on every time, you don't have to change it. But like I said, I always go google.com to make sure it's Google's, because other people put up home pages, and your machine may have come, or laptop or device may have come with their preferred home screen, right? Like if I go in here and do Explorer, they've got their own home screen. This is my Explorer. When I hit this E down here, this is what came up as my home screen. I don't want to see all this all the time. I don't know why I'm glitching. I'm seeing that I'm glitching. Okay, I don't know why this is doing that. I'm gonna close it because it's acting funny. But this is a home screen, but I can change this so it always defaults to google.com. I'll show you how to do that in another lesson. Okay, but I'm google.com. Am I signed into my account or not? Yes or no? I'm not signed in? Yes, I'm signed in. Because first of all, it's not telling me to sign in. If I wasn't signed in, let me go to incognito. Remember we talked about incognito? You have to listen to the replay. I'm not gonna, am I signed into this account? Yes or no? I'm not signed in. Why? Because it's asking me to sign in, right? Okay, if I'm signed in, it's not gonna ask me. And it's not asking me to sign in because remember, if you put your mouse over that little icon, yours may have an initial because you didn't load your logo. I've uploaded my logo, right? But yours may have an L or an A or whatever your name is, C or whatever. And it'll just be a circle if you're signed in. If you just hold your mouse there, it'll show you what account you're signed into at that time that you're looking at, okay? All right, so that's just a quick review. And you hit Gmail, or you can go to the waffle, open up your Gmail. There you go, you're already in, you're here. There's a waffle where you can, let me move this. There's a waffle where you can find your apps. So we know all about that. Okay, so that's just a quick review. Now let's go into MSN. Let's go into Microsoft. So I'm gonna open up a new page. And what did I say? Office.com. Office.com. And it's gonna ask me to either pick an account or sign up. If this is your first time ever doing this, if you don't have an Outlook account or an MSN account or a Live account, or what else is it called? Live, MSN, Yahoo, not Yahoo, Live, MSN, Outlook. I think those are the three extensions that it uses. Then it will ask you to sign in or create an account. Create one. It may ask you to create one. So if you need to create one, you can do it. It's free of charge, just like you created a Gmail account. You'll go through the whole process and it'll take you through that. You don't have to do that now. You can just watch the replay and do it later. Or if you want to start going through it, you can. But I'd rather you watch what I do and then kind of, if you don't have an account yet. Okay, so let me go back. Go back and let me sign in because I already have an Outlook account. If you have an Outlook account, you can sign into it. This is the one I want. My password is saved. And let me put this down here. This is the back of my account here. I've already got some documents here because I've been using this for a while. Now, we talked about Google Drive that gives you 15 gigs of free storage. Well, Microsoft, they're not going to be left behind. They have a drive too. What is their drive called? It's called OneDrive. That's Microsoft's version of free cloud storage. Now, I've already got some stuff here. I'm looking. Okay, I was correct. They do, how much do you get? How much does Microsoft give you? I thought it used to be 10. Okay, maybe they've taken it down to 5. You get 5 gigabytes of free cloud storage with your OneDrive account. I've already used 2.5 with mine, and you can always buy more. They're going to pay. They're going to ask you to pay for more, right? You can always get more, but your free storage is here with OneDrive. Now, there's also I call this the waffle, but it's the apps launcher. We talked about that, right? It's just how computers work. It's just a function of the computers, whether you're on Mac or PC. You'll see this waffle, or you see the apps launcher. If you go to the apps launcher, it's going to take you to all of your apps that are available. Here are the apps that are available. Outlook is their email, right? Word is Word. There's Excel, there's PowerPoint, there's OneNote, Calendar, To-Do, Skype, and it's got some more here. Look at all these apps. These are free. These are free. So here's your free Microsoft Word account. It's the real Microsoft Word account. It's real. It's the real deal. Now, it's the web version of Microsoft Word, right? When you hit that Word, you can do a blank document just like you can in the regular desktop software. This looks a little different because it's in the cloud and it operates. This is a mobile version, right? So it's going to operate a little differently, but it's the same thing as Word. It's Word, just the mobile. I always start with templates. When I teach this at our local college, I tell people to always start with your templates. You don't have to make stuff up. They've got so many beautiful templates if you're trying to do your resume or a business proposal or a flyer or a personal letter, or even labels. And even, you can even explore more. They've got templates that you can start with. If you want to do a calendar, start with a template and customize it. Here's a flyer, event flyer. Here's a paper. If you're writing a paper, this is an MLA style paper. You just click it and you put your paper in there. Here's a resume, and they got more than one, right? So let's just click on this resume just because I'm showing you this as an example. I recommend that you create your resume because most companies need a Word-based resume, right? In MS Word. That's just the language of enterprise, right? That's the language of corporations, is Microsoft products. Some of them may use Google, but not as many as use Word. So you've got 2 options here. You've got Google Docs and you've got Word. I'm showing you how to do this in Word now. And you don't have to buy it. So you go in here and you can just, if you don't like this template, you can do an internet search. Watch this. Watch this. Kind of fire hosing you all of a sudden with all this information, but you can go back and watch the replay. MS Word resume templates. You don't see the one you like there? Look at this, free templates. I like to go to the images because I like to see what the images are to kind of get a visual. Look at all these templates you could use. Okay, so you like this one. I'm just going to click it. See if it lets me go into it. Some of these are easy to kind of upload and some may not be, but you just kind of click around and find and see they're charging for this one. Oh no, I'm going to do free templates. So you can click around and find a template. Look, these are all for, okay, let me do this. Don't pay for stuff. You know me. I'm not going to make you pay. I'm not going to let you pay for stuff. I'm going to say free. Free MS Word. There you go. So all of these should be free. Don't look at these ads. These are, when it says sponsored, somebody's trying to get some money on this first row. So skip that first row and let's go down here and see if we can find a free template. I don't know. I'm just pulling it up. You can pull these in through, okay, these are free templates, right? And it probably will let you download it somewhere. And then you can upload it. But if you like that style, okay, fine. Look at that. That's kind of neat. Got your picture on it and everything. Oh, there it is. Demo, details, demo, blah, blah, blah. There should be a site that will let you do the download. This is just one I just pulled up just off the if you don't like what's on your free Word account. So let me go back here. Say I like this one, okay? And I go in and fill it out. Let's just do it. If you're following me along, you can do this if you'd like. If you can do it and keep up with how I'm showing you this. Objective to get a 7-figure paying. Yeah, right? You're not going to put this on your real resume, right? You're not going to put this. Why won't it let me backspace? Won't let me backspace. I'm sorry if you hear we live out right down the street from the fire department, so you probably hear that. I apologize. There's nothing I can do about it. So I'm done with this, okay? Now, let me show, just pretend like I fill this all out and I love this resume template and I want to save it, right? With your web-based apps, they automatically save like every few seconds or so, or minutes or so. I don't know what the timing is, but if it says saved to OneDrive, it's already saved it. Just like Google, if you're in a Google Docs, you would see where it says saved, save, save. So you don't have to remember to go back and save, save, save. It automatically does it for you. Now I can change the name of this document. I just clicked up there and I'm going to put Angela's. I'll be professional. Angi Valentine resume 2020. Okay, and I'll go back and take questions in just a second. But this is the docx, which means it's a Microsoft document. Okay, the location, I wanted to save in my OneDrive. And I can download it later to my desktop if I wanted to. Okay. There it is, Angi Valentine resume. I saved it and it closed it. I just wanted to save it, but it saved and closed. That's okay, fine. I can go back into it and make edits, or I can download or whatever I need to do. Now, let me show you this. If you have the full version of Word installed on your desktop already, you say, well, maybe I'll do this next time, but I actually paid for Word. I already have Word. Very good. That's cool, because what it will let you do here is open in your desktop app. So if you start something in the cloud, if you click this open in your desktop app, you'll see the desktop version of Word that has all the bells and whistles and all the ribbons and all the functions and all the full version. This is a mobile version, but you'll see the full version if you want to open it. I'm not sure if it'll let me do that here, but I do have it. Yeah. Because I've got it connected to another account, so I'm going to cancel it. But if you do have it, it will automatically open up. Oh, it's already doing it. Okay. Is it opening? No, this is okay. This is still in the drive. That's okay, fine. But if you do have this Word on your desktop, it will recognize it and it'll open it up in Word. And then when you go back to save it, it's still going to save it because it originated in the desktop, in the cloud app, the web-based app. It's going to save it in your OneDrive here. Okay. All right. Let's close this. Or actually, let's see, how do I want to do that? Yeah, I'll close it because I still got my OneDrive open here. And this OneDrive, once you begin to add files here, all your files are here. When you, just like when Google, when you sign in your Drive apps, you'll see OneDrive here. If you want to do Excel, go to Excel. Same thing. You can either do a blank document, move this out of the way, or you can get a template. Say you need an invoice. Okay, go to Excel. You got an invoice. I click that invoice template. I go in and I put my company name or whoever is sending the invoice, your church or whatever, I don't know, your whatever entity. You can customize this, save it, put your logo, whatever, and then you have your invoice. Okay. Saving it to OneDrive. I just closed out of all of that. So to get, okay, I'm back at one. Okay. But you've got PowerPoint, same thing for PowerPoint. Click here, you got your templates, or you can just, if you, in any of these apps, if you just wanted to start a new blank presentation, just just open blank presentation and start from blank. You don't have to use a template, but a template will save you a little bit of time, in my opinion. And then you just click and add your own stuff and go for it. Okay. This is PowerPoint. We recognize PowerPoint, right? So that's how you would go and get your free. This is free. No one charged me for it. It didn't ask me to put in a credit card because this is the free version of Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and all these other things over here. I think there's a Skype. Yep, you have a Skype account, which you know you get with your MSN account anyway. That's free. Calendar, contacts, that's people. What else is here? Some of this stuff I don't use. Flow and all that, I don't use that. But just your basic, you know, Word, PowerPoint, Excel, OneNote. All right, I'm going to pause and I'm going to see if there are any questions. Let me pause and let me go back to and let me stop sharing. Let's see. Where's my sharing app? There you guys are. Stop share. Okay, you can unmute. Do you have any questions? Do you have, I showed you how to get to it, office.com. And if you need to sign up for an account because you don't have an Outlook account, you can sign up and then you can get to all those free apps. But it's just like Google. It's gonna make you have an account before you get access to it. It's gonna make you create an Outlook account. Google's gonna make you create a Google account before you get to their stuff. iCloud is gonna make you create an iCloud account before you can get to their stuff, okay? Should we save our password or enter it each time we visit a site? Good question. I follow the rule of thumb. If I'm the only one on my device and my device is secured, I save my password. I save it in my browser, I save it on my phone, whatever. But if you're sharing devices with other people in the family, then I don't save it. I always enter it. Because my kid can get in here and if I save my password, he can totally, he did that the other day, totally did push something in the app store and purchased an $80 app. I'm like, what? So that's your call, but I'm totally comfortable with especially when I'm using Chrome, and Chrome has this little save password, just like you saw when I pulled that up, because I was in Chrome. Chrome saves my bookmarks, it saves my places, my history that I visited, and if I've been here before, you know, it'll save my passwords, and it just saves me time. And I'm the only one that knows how to get into that, so I'm not worried about saving the password there. But if I'm out and visiting or somewhere, I don't save passwords on other people's stuff or things that devices that I share with other people. Okay. Because you have password different accounts. Oh, I'm going to do a password class. I don't have time today. Let me do that next week, okay? Because I already got it together. I said, I need to do the password thing. I'm going to use Google Classroom and we're going to go through a password exercise. Very good question. But I will address that because password's a big deal to me and to everybody right now. Should we say, okay. There's a Hotmail. Okay. Does a Hotmail count take his money?
Is a Hotmail equal to Outlook?
Yes.
The same platform.
Yes.
But let's say you have a Hotmail account.
Yes.
You have the same access into it.
Yes. Yes. Now, my personal, professional, because I'm trying to get you on a professional level because you've been to my classes, right? You're not like the average person with a Hotmail account. You have Hotmail, to me, because I've done HR too. You got Hotmail, Rhonda Rippey at hotmail.com, and you got Rhonda Rippey at outlook.com. Before I even know what you do and your history and your criminal background, I don't care. I'm going to pull up Rhonda Rippey at outlook.com. I don't have to know anything. This is how quickly recruiters make a decision. They got to find a reason to say yes or no just with a 6-second. It used to be 30 seconds. They don't even take 30 seconds. Okay, that one, yes or no. That one, yes or no. The resume, that's how quickly they have to make the decision. You got Hotmail, you ain't been in no classes lately. We use Outlook in this company. If you've been in any professional company, you know they use Outlook. So yes, Hotmail is like a legacy account, but it was like Hotmail to me is comparable to AOL.com. If you got AOL account, I got a friend, dear friend of mine, still uses AOL. I'm like, don't use that professionally anywhere. Don't tell nobody you got an AOL account.
Hey.
I'm sorry.
That's
It's not you. If you have an AOL account, I wasn't even talking about you.
No, I still have an MSN account.
Okay. I could deal with MSN a little bit quicker than I could with Hotmail, because Hotmail came out with, you know, the dial up with AOL. All that came out together because we all getting these free accounts and we're excited, right? So that means you haven't upgraded that account since Christ lost his shoes, as people say. I
Oh
don't know
no,
what that means.
that's my original account.
That's what I'm telling you.
So everybody has it. So it's like,
yeah. So that's why I recommend, to show that your technology skills are up to date, that you do Outlook or Live. I got a Live right after that, but who knows what Angi Valentine at live.com, like what platform is, everyone's not familiar with that. So I would just recommend, because the corporate world recognizes Outlook, so that you show that you're familiar with that platform. And why is she still on Hotmail? Has she not been to a class, or she had not had a job since 84 when that came out? That's my personal, that's my HR hat. If I had to choose and you're using that account, I'm going to choose Outlook. That's why I say get a professional account, right? You can use your old email accounts, but I just think you could do better when it's free, you know? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm off my rant on that. Okay, I have a Microsoft on my laptop. Does it automatically save to cloud? If you're signed in to your cloud account. If you're using software that's downloaded, no. You have to sign in, then it syncs, right? Anytime you're signing into something in the cloud, right? You're signing into a web-based app. So that's going to sync. Stuff that's already hard loaded on your laptop, no. Okay. Setting up a Microsoft account. Is it best to use your business or personal email? Depending on what you're going to use it for. So who you're going to be talking to. I have a personal, like Rhonda said, I have that MSN account, that Live account. But when I'm talking to professional people and people at my college or whatever, I'm online telling somebody to email me on a professional basis, I'm going to use that Outlook every time, hands down, right? So I got both. But it's all about branding. Remember branding? We talked about branding a little bit. How are you branding yourself? How are people looking at you and communicating with you? If you're drop it like it's hot at hotmail.com, oh, please, you know, that was the old stuff when we were being cute, not on the professional side, right? All right. I'm sorry, don't hate on AOL. I'm just trying to bring y'all up to speed. I love you, brother Dwayne. I have a lot of AOL friends. You know, that was the stuff when we got that dial up. We thought we were really doing the stuff. Oh my God. So we were all proud of our AOL accounts, but please don't tell nobody you have an AOL account. Okay. If you're a friend of mine and been to my class, please don't tell people you still have you can keep it, but just don't tell nobody you got it. Okay. Gmail is recognized. Yeah. Because remember, Gmail came out of the gate with cloud-based app. If you have a Gmail account, that tells me you know something about cloud-based apps. I'm good with Gmail. Yep. I'm good with Gmail. I'm good with Gmail. I'm good with Outlook. Can you have too many? No, ma'am. They haven't yet charged me, and I got about, I can't begin to tell you how many Gmail accounts I have and how many Outlook accounts I have. Maybe about 5 Outlook accounts and maybe about 15 Gmail accounts. Never said anything to me. Now I'll say Angi Valentine. Same birth date too, most of them. Any other questions? Good questions, you guys. Good questions. You can unmute if you like. You can unmute your line. Did you understand what I did to show you how to get your free access to MS Word and Excel and all that? Did you understand that process?
No. I didn't, and I've been sitting here trying to figure it out. I wrote down here the because I know I can go in. I usually ignore Microsoft.
Mm-hmm.
I don't go into the E. I just start going into Chrome and
right
it along.
Right.
And I never had an Outlook account.
So let me recap real quick. Because I probably showed you a lot of stuff. Like I said, I'm fire hosing you with all this information. That's why I send you the replays, because going back through it and just watching me and listening to it again might make sense. Just like Google, Microsoft has their versions of stuff, right? So to get to Microsoft, we go to office.com, right? You go to google.com for Google or office.com to go to Office. Those are the two that are really competing for the professional space, right? The business and a professional space. Google, or you just pick your bucket, or you can have both, depending on who you're talking to. If you're in education, be all over Google. If you're, on business, be all over Outlook. Or, yeah. Or you can be a business in a professional sense, like you're working for a corporation. If you got a business, you own your business, then that's Google My Business and all that stuff. I'd push you over here in the Google bucket. So don't worry about Outlook. But if you have to worry about Outlook because you're in a professional world and the corporate world, I'd worry about Outlook, right? If I had a choice. So you just go to office.com, and if you have your Outlook or your MSN or your Hotmail, doesn't matter, you can sign into that, and then you can get those apps on the back end. Okay? You have email, you have Outlook over there, you have all that behind the scenes. If you're in Google, you just go to google.com. That's why I'm trying to make it real. I don't mean to confuse you, but you're either on one platform or another, and you can do both through Chrome. But Explorer is made by Microsoft, so you can do it through Explorer. I mean Edge, Microsoft Edge.
Okay.
I hear you, Darlene. Do you have a question for me, honey?
I'm sorry, I forgot I was on mute.
I heard you say okay. Okay.
Yeah. The mailman, the UPS is knocking on my door, but I forgot I was out too.
Okay.
I was calling. I wanted to ask you, how do you go about managing more than one account?
Sign in, sign out.
So sign in, sign out of each one, or
yeah,
individually?
Yep.
Okay.
If you're having, you can be signed into multiple accounts, especially with Gmail. You can sign in to your main account, and then you can sign into 3 others, and you just have to make sure you just switch. We can cover that when we get to more advanced, but for simplicity's sake, sign out, then you go back in and sign in, and everything stays in its bucket, right? That's the simplest answer.
Okay.
When you're done with Outlook, sign out of that. Or you can stay signed in. It's not going to conflict with Gmail. It's just when you go back over there, you're still signed in. It's not a big deal.
So my problem I always have, and I know you say you're going to go over it, is that even with any one of my accounts, especially my Google account, and every time I get a new phone, I always have to get a new Google account, and it messes everything up because I forget my password. I forget my password of Facebook. So
we're going to fix that. That password thing is just a thorn in my flesh. I'm going to fix that. That I added that to the list. If you saw the description, how to create a password you will never forget. That's next week. That's first on my list next week. Can we go over that next week? It'll save you some frustration. Yeah. We're going over that. With digital citizenship and safety kind of things, so that you kind of keep you from being hacked, blah, 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 and how to set these passwords. Because a lot of times if you forget your password, you're making multiple accounts. Crystal, our Uncle Wayne has, and probably Aunt Claire have, I'm calling them out, 15 Facebook accounts. 15. Uncle Wayne got 15.
Oh,
yeah.
what?
So no, I'm just kidding. He doesn't have 15, but he has a lot. Every time I come, he got a different profile. I'm like, well, Uncle Wayne, I'm 3 friends with you over here. 3 Uncle Wayne. He got a 4th one because I lost my password. I couldn't remember my password. I had to make a new account. I'm like, Uncle Wayne. Now I got to do a whole new course for my family. I'm gonna send them all these replays because come on. They're like, it's easier to create a new account than it. And then you thinking somebody's hacking because if somebody else is, they say if you get a message from me, right, and it's not me, then it could be. So we reporting the new one, and it's him. It's a big mess. We got to fix that password thing. I'm telling you, we got to fix that. It's causing all kind of havoc, and I never know which one. Yeah. You never know who to talk, which Uncle Wayne to talk to. Which one are you today, Uncle Wayne? Okay. I love him, but he's asked me to give him some class, and I'm like, Uncle Wayne, you need to be on here. And if he come to class, don't tell him I told y'all that. I love him. I do. He's my favorite uncle. Okay. All of them are my favorite. Okay.
Clean that up.
I got to clean that up, right? Because I do love all my uncles. Any other questions? Let me get off of that. Y'all got me off track.
I do have a question, but I was hoping we kind of went over it some, but I had a question from last week when we were talking in the Google. I wanted to know, how do we create a file folder in our Google? So when you want to clean your email and you want to make a file folder for your clients or whatever you have set up.
So Outlook, I think, has folders. That's where that file folder concept has. I should have went and opened that up, but we'll do that one day. You can play around with it. But Google has labels.
Labels, that's what it's called, labels, okay.
You just have to assign a label to it in Gmail. It's not a folder, it's just a label. You put a label on it, business, 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 if it's labeled, and then over the side you have a business label. When you click that label, all your business tags that you tag with that business label will come up. So that's the best they got. It's not a folder per se where you shove everything, but it's just a label, a labeling system.
Okay.
We can cover that when we get, because the next thing we're way on down the line, when I get through laying all the basics, I'm going to go into Gmail. Everything you can do in Gmail, right? How do you create labels? How do you schedule a message to send out later? How do you do a signature? All that's in Gmail. So we got to lay the foundation. Then we got to get into every app, because we're going to be at this for a minute. Okay. Questions? Anyone else? Did you learn something? Was this helpful?
Yes.
Good. Let me see your hand if you learned something. I don't want you coming here and you're not learning anything, because I feel bad. Okay, your electronic hands. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, I'm done. Unless you have any other questions for me. That's a lot to kind of, process, because I threw Google at you. Now I'm throwing Word at you and Microsoft products, and hopefully you can have both. I recommend, if you want to, get really fancy with it. So depending on who's emailing you, you can email them, but you got to manage all that. So I guess the bottom line is pick your poison. And if you're fancy enough, you can do both. I do them all. Doesn't matter to me. I just sign in, sign out. Okay. But that means I got to check them all too, right? That's the only downside. Yeah, that's the only downside. But oh well. Okay, I did that, but you recommend to set up a business. Make it easy. Okay, yeah. I'm all for Gmail, because
you did that.
Microsoft, if you're not in a corporate office and trying to get a corporate job, forget Microsoft. Even the cloud-based is a little cumbersome. It's a little clunky for me, because you're taking this software-based company, you're trying to make it cloud-based now, and people get real confused. Whereas Google started out cloud-based, so it's easier to understand. And I always said, if they're putting it in schools for the kids, they're going to make it simple. So I always kind of lean toward Google if I had a choice.
Angela, that's what I do. And Derea, I was taking all of my AmeriPlan and dumping it into a file or label on my Gmail account, but it just became convoluted. So Angela recommended setting up my business account just for Gmail, get a separate account for my Gmail for the AmeriPlan, and that's been working. I haven't given it out to anybody except people who are with business. So families on my regular G account, my bills are on my regular Gmail account, and then I don't have to sift through all my emails.
You have to sit down, honey. We can see you. Sorry.
And we can hear you hollering at him. Don't holler at the honey. Don't holler at your honey on the line when we're recording. Send him a text message.
And we've been married 41 years. I've been hearing that voice.
She can text it to you. She don't have to tell you to sit down. Okay, Pamela, I'm messing with you, girl. Oh, I love this couple.
Sorry, I have been on mute the whole time.
Except that one time.
Yes. So when can we expect the recording?
When I send out the reminder to the next class, because I try to upload it to a YouTube channel so I can kind of have everything. There's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes. I'm trying to get organized, right? Trying to be professional about this. So I send you the link. I got to get that link from YouTube, so I'll have the link there. So give me a few days, okay?
Okay.
All right. Very good. I love you guys. Thank you for coming. I'm done. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. So unless you have any, did I answer all the questions here? If I didn't answer your question, you can shout it out to me now before we say goodbye.
Have a great day, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
Be safe, everybody.
Enjoy your weekend. You're welcome, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Take care. Bye.